Number 20, Philadelphia. The 1993 drama Philadelphia follows Tom Hanks's Andrew Beckett, a young and successful attorney who is let go after his Philadelphia law firm finds out he is homosexual and has contracted HIV. Upon losing his job, Beckett hires the most unlikely of allies, Denzel Washington playing Joe Miller, to take on the powerful law firm that fired him.
Mediocre to sometimes flagrantly incompetent. Fact. He claims he's the victim of lies and deceit. Fact. It was Andrew Beckett who lied, going to great lengths to conceal his disease from his employers.
Number 19, There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day-Lewis gives a career performance in director Paul Thomas Anderson's 2007 masterpiece There Will Be Blood. Day-Lewis, who stars as the obsessive and demented oil man. Movie shows Daniel's struggle as he tries to build his empire in the American West. For this, the Irish actor got his third Academy Award.
Guarantee to start drilling and to put up the cash to back my word. I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what the others promise to do, when it comes to the showdown, they won't be there.
There's a whole ocean of oil under our feet. No one can get at it except for me.
We'll offer $150,000 for full title.
When do we get our money, Daniel?
Number 18, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. College history professor and treasure hunter Indiana Jones takes on a band of Nazis in the 1981 action-adventure epic Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the first of 4 Indy movies available for streaming on Netflix.
It is protected by forces beyond imagination. It is desired above all treasures on earth by those who are good, trust me, and those who are evil.
I'll tell you everything. Yes, I know you will.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Number 17, Lethal Weapon. When a high-profile case forces the older and more reserved Danny Glover as Roger Murtaugh to team up with Martin Riggs, played by Mel Gibson, a loose-cannon narcotics officer. The two opposites have to work through the differences before it's too late.
Boy and Smith, a lot of old-timers carry those.
The bad guys don't stand a chance.
Number 16, Marriage Story. Academy Award-nominated writer-director Noah Baumbach gave audiences perhaps his most personal film with the 2019 Marriage Story. Centered around the divorce of Adam Driver as Charlie and Scarlett Johansson as Nicole Barber. This emotional gut punch of a movie has brought audiences to their knees since its release.
Mom! Charlie Bird! Mom! Mom? Mom! What?
Now, most people in my business, you're just transactions to them. I like to think of you as people.
Oh, okay, good.
You remind me of myself on my second marriage.
Number 15, The Shawshank Redemption. When Tim Robbins, playing Andy Dufresne, an intelligent banker, is framed for the murder of his wife and her lover and sent to Shawshank Prison, he forms an unlikely friendship with Morgan Freeman, playing Ellis Redding, as he begins the slow and painful process of escaping to a better life.
I must admit, I didn't think much of Andy the first time I laid eyes on him. He had a quiet way about him. A walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here.
There are places in the world that aren't made out of stone. Hope.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing.
Damn it, new friend, you're putting me behind!
Hope can drive a man insane.
You better be sick or dead in there, I kid you not!
I better get used to that idea. Oh, my holy God.
Number 14, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller got to live out every teenager's fantasy in the John Hughes-directed Ferris Bueller's Day Off. After faking sick to skip school, Ferris, his best friend Cameron Fry, and girlfriend Sloane Peterson treat the city of Chicago like a personal playground in this essential 1980s comedy.
Popular belief setting off on some impossible mission.
Jeopardizes my ability to effectively govern this student body.
He does whatever he wants.
You know, as long as I've known him, everything works for him.
Whenever he wants.
He's very cool, and he never gets nailed.
Ferris can do anything.
Oh, he's such a sweetie.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Mrs. Bueller. It's a fool's paradise. He is just leading you down the primrose path.
Matthew Broderick.
Bueller. Ferris Bueller.
Number 13, Inception. From the mind of Christopher Nolan comes the 2010 science fiction action thriller, Inception, which follows a group of dream miners led by DiCaprio as Dom Cobb who take a job that could prove to be too big for even the most competent of criminals. Watch as Cobb and crew dig deep into multiple layers of dreams in order to achieve their ultimate goal.
It's not strictly speaking legal. I'm ready. I think I found a way home. And this last job, that's how I get there. Dreams feel real while we're in them. It's only when we wake up that we realize something is actually strange.
Number 12, Raging Bull. The biographical sports drama from Martin Scorsese explores the ups and downs of legendary boxer Jam LaMotta's boxing career, played by Robert De Niro. And co-starring with him is legendary Joe Pesci as Jake's brother Joey LaMotta.
There's done a lot of bad things, Joey. Maybe it's coming back to me.
Number 11, The Social Network. Legendary filmmaker David Fincher and acclaimed screenwriter Aaron Sorkin teamed up to tell the story of Facebook's creation and early years in the visually striking 2010 drama The Social Network. Starring Jesse Eisenberg as Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and Justin Timberlake as investor and Napster creator Sean Parker.
Fun, and they lead to a better life. People want to go on the internet and check out their friends, so why not build a website that offers that friends, pictures, profiles? I'm talking about taking the entire social experience of college and putting it online.
Site got 2,200 hits within 2 hours.
22,000.
This idea is potentially worth millions of dollars.
Millions? You stole our website.
They're saying we stole the Facebook. I know what it says.
So did we?
Number 10, Hell or High Water. After their family's property is threatened thanks to a reverse mortgage scheme, Toby and Tanner Howard go on one of the most daring and emotional string of bank robberies in the 2016 crime thriller Hell or High Water. To make matters worse for the Howard brothers, they have retiring Texas Ranger Marcus Hamilton on the trail through the Lone Star State.
You got a gun on you, old man?
You damn right I got a gun on me. Y'all gonna steal my gun too?
We ain't stealing from you, we're stealing from the bank.
Woo! You hear about these bank robberies? You may get to have some fun before they send you off to the rocking chair yet. I may have one hunt left in me.
Number 9, About Time. About Time is one of those movies with a trailer that makes you think it is one thing but turns out to be something entirely different. Starring Donald Gleason, Rachel McAdams, and Bill Nye, this highly emotional and heartfelt 2013 comedy drama is anything but the typical time-traveling movie.
For me, it was always going to be all about love. I'm Tim.
I'm Mary.
What's my mother's name?
I remind you of your mother?
Obviously, I should have thought this through more. Could you give me 1 second? Some days you want to relive forever. You only want to live once.
So uninterested in a life without your father.
It never occurred to me that I might lose you.
I never said you could fix everything. Not without consequences.
Number 8, Blade Runner. Ridley Scott's 1982 techno-noir masterpiece Blade Runner tells the story of a former police officer by the name of Rick Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, who is tasked with hunting down a gang of replicants who have escaped from an off-world colony. Not the action movie many expect it to be, movie is pushed by a slow and methodical plot.
Mr. Deckard, Dr. Eldon Tyrell.
I don't get it, Tyrell.
Commerce is our goal here at Tyrell. More human than human is our motto. Questions?
I just do eyes, just to die.
If I didn't care.
Number 7. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? When two wealthy and self-described progressive Californians are forced to put their image to test, after their daughter brings home an African-American fiancé during the middle of the 1960s, they begin to learn more about themselves than they ever knew. This 1968 classic still remains relevant 50-plus years after its release.
I love your daughter.
Do you mean if we've been to bed together? I don't mind you asking me that. We haven't. He wouldn't.
I'm your son. I love you. But you think of yourself as a colored man. I think of myself as a man.
That's the story of...
Number 6. The Gift. When someone from Simon Corlum's past comes back to intimidate him and his wife Robin, the couple's marriage is put to the test. Written and directed by Joel Edgerton, who also plays the insanely unnerving Gordo, Mosley. This 2015 psychological thrill ride will have you holding onto the arm of your couch.
They used to call him Gordo the Weirdo.
I think he's nice, and he's been very generous.
What you're talking about is a one-sided friendship. You're essentially being forced into a breakup.
There's no easy way to say this. Don't visit us anymore.
Just bygones be bygones, man.
It's over!
Simon has a full file on him.
You think he's been lying to you?
Just tell me what happened.
You think you're done with the past, but the past is not done with you.
Number 5. Minority Report. In 2002, Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise teamed up to bring one of science fiction author Philip K. Dick's most prolific short stories to the big screen with the action thriller Minority Report. Cruise plays Chief John Anderson, a police officer who is accused of crime he has not yet committed and is forced to go on the run.
You say something, Chief?
No. You're in a lot of trouble, John. I have a warrant in my pocket that says murder.
Don't run.
You don't have to chase me.
He's coming here to get her.
I need your help. You contain information. I need to know how to get at it.
Tell me, who was it that set this up?
I don't know. I bet now.
Minority Report.
Number 4. Groundhog Day. Bill Murray stars as TV weatherman Phil Connors caught in a time loop during an assignment to cover a town's Groundhog Day event. Connors spends most of the movie reliving the same day over and over again until the sarcastic weatherman sees the fault in his ways.
Like there's no tomorrow.
Phil Connors! Ned!
Because there isn't.
I am an immortal. I have been stabbed, shot, burned, frozen, electrocuted. I'm a god.
You're God.
I'm a god. I'm not the god.
He's out. I studied 19th century French poetry.
What a waste of time.
I studied 19th century French poetry.
La fille qui j'aimerais.
You speak French.
Oui. Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
He might be okay.
Number 3. As Good as It Gets. Jack Nicholson stars as an obsessive-compulsive writer, who falls in love with a single mother waitress played by Helen Hunt in the 1997 romantic comedy. Throughout the movie, Nicholson's character must come to terms with the fact that the reason no one likes him because he's a miserable, needy old man, and once he begins to change his outlook on life, great things begin to happen. Number 2. Rosemary's Baby. Roman Polanski's horror film Rosemary's Baby is as terrifying now as it was upon its release in 1968. Rosemary Woodhouse slips into madness as she believes that an evil cult is trying to take her newborn child, to use in their rituals.
Now to a fine, healthy baby. Here, here.
Yeah. I have a pain. Here.
We're your friends, Rosemary.
You witches! Go to hell! I'll kill them before I let them touch you. Somebody help me! What have you done to him, you maniac?
Number 1. Inglorious Bastards. This is one of Quentin Tarantino's most successful 2009 film. Centered around a cast of characters that includes a platoon of Nazi hunting American soldiers, a ruthless Nazi officer, and a French theater owner hell-bent on revenge against the German army. This alternate history story is a bloody mess of a good time.
Deep behind enemy lines. The Germans call them the bastards. These Yanks have been them the devil.
Well, we're all tickled to hear you say that.
No, Hitler is attending the premiere.
Getting a whack Uncle Adolf makes us a horse of different colors.
We have all our rotten eggs in one basket. The objective of the operation, blow up the basket.
I'm gonna give you a little something you can't take off. You're getting pretty good at that. You know, in the hands of the SS. My hands, to be exact.
Nine. Oh, yes.